Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. Tim back in the Revolved Realty Studio. Today we are talking about escalation clauses, to be exact, what it is, why you should care, and how it can affect your ability to buy the home of your dreams. Now, if you watch these videos or you follow me on Facebook, you know that we are in a hyper competitive market. We are at a 20-year low in inventory. It's never been more competitive. We are seeing houses go on the market with multiple offers in one day, usually now going above the asking price. And that is when an escalation clause comes into play. Because if you are going to compete with other buyers on a property, if you've got multiple offers, if you have the ability to escalate your bid just a little bit higher than the best offer, well, your odds of getting the house are greatly improved. So let's talk a little bit about what is an escalation clause. When you submit an offer to buy a home here, you're going to do it on a contract. You're going to tell your realtor, hey, I want to buy this house, and this is how much I want to pay. So that goes into typically a finance sales contract. And here is where you can use the escalation clause. Let's say the house is on the market for $180,000. Well, if it's a hot property, we know that there are going to be a lot of folks looking at that house. We know that the offers are going to come in, and most of them, if it's been on the market a short time, are going to come in at least at that asking price of $180,000. So let's say we get 4 offers, each one at $180,000. 2 have no closing costs. One has a closing cost of $3,000, and another has a closing cost of $5,000. Easily, we look at what's the net. Of course, if it's an offer of $180,000 with no closing costs paid by the seller, they're going to net $180,000. If it's $180,000 with $2,000 in closing costs, they're going to net $178,000. And if it's $180,000 with $5,000 in closing costs, they're going to net $175,000. Simple math, even an old fart like me can do. So what we look at is what is the net to the seller. Now, what if one of those offers had an escalation clause? And an escalation clause simply says this: I am willing to go this much higher than the next best offer that nets the seller money. Meaning, if it's $180,000 and that's what the seller is going to net, I'm willing to escalate my offer by $500 up to $190,000. That just means this: I'm willing to make the same offer, $180,000, but if other people make offers better than mine, I am willing to beat their offer by $500 or whatever. It can be $100, it can be $1, although that would be silly. But I am willing to top their offer by $500 up to $190,000. Now, why is an escalation clause smart? Well, in this market, super competitive. We're getting multiple offers, typically on the same day. We've got offers coming in, all of them at ask. If you offer higher, of course, that's better for the seller. And if you do it with an escalation clause, all of a sudden you're not only on a level playing ground with these guys, but you're willing to go up here to get to a certain point. Now, it's relatively safe for you to do that because the seller, the agent, has to supply you with proof that your escalation clause was required. So let's look at 2 offers. Again, one offer is $180,000 with no closing cost. The other offer is $180,000 with no closing. They're identical offers, but offer number 1 has an escalation clause that says, I will go up $500 above the next best offer that nets the seller. Now, again, that's what you look at as the net. The net is the price minus any costs. All right. So in this case, if both offers are equal at $180,000, but one has an escalation clause of $500, he will escalate to $180,500. All right. And again, he has to be given proof. He'll get a copy of that other contract showing here's why your escalation clause kicked in. All right. Now, one thing you have to be careful with here is if you are borrowing money and the escalation clause affects your loan, you need to make sure that you're already qualified to go up to that higher level. I assume you are, or your realtor wouldn't let you get there with an escalation clause. The other thing you have to look at, if you are a seller now, and I talked about this in another video, we are seeing a lot of escalation clauses going way up, $20,000, $30,000, even $40,000 above ask. Just because it escalates this high, if there is an appraisal contingency, it kind of becomes a moot point. Let's say that our $180,000 house, it escalated to $190,000. The buyer, via his escalation clause, is willing to pay $190,000. Well, what happens if the appraisal is still at $180,000? A couple of things could happen here. Either the seller will agree to drop the price to $180,000. It's not going to happen very often. Or the buyer will have to bring extra cash to the table to make it up. All right. If he offered $190,000, but the appraisal price, the bank's only going to loan at $180,000, he has to bring that additional down payment to get that loan down. And if you're on an FHA loan, it has to sell at appraisal. The deal could fall apart completely. So just keep that in mind when you are using an escalation clause, which is a very smart thing to do, although now everybody's doing it. You need to look at what are your increments, how high are you willing to go, are you pre-qualified, and if you do go above appraisal, are you still willing to bring money to the table? I know a lot of the deals that I do now, we are going back and removing that appraisal contingency simply because it's a seller's market. And we can. So, hey, if I can help you figure out all that math, happy to do so. I know it can be a little confusing. I want to remind you of a couple of our sponsors here who can also help you figure all this stuff out. Jacob Title, Stan McDonald and his team there. We call Stan the hometown closer because he closes so many houses in our little hometown. If you mention to Stan that you heard about him here on the program, he's going to knock $100 off your closing costs. And then most houses are sold with a mortgage. And if you need a mortgage, we recommend Stephen Allen at Caliber Home Loans. Stephen and his team, they're just experts. They know the best loan. They can get you the best rates. They'll hold your hand through the entire process. Mention to Stephen that you heard about him here on the video, and he is going to do your appraisal for free. That's about a $400 value. And of course, if I can help you in any way when it comes to real estate, always happy to do so. I can get you through all of this math. Give me a call, 679-0704, tim@revolve.com. You can find us on the web at revolve.com or on Facebook. All right. That's it, guys. It's a crazy world out there. It's a hot real estate market. Just be careful and make sure you don't get burned. See what I did there? I'll see you later. Have a great day. Bye.